Okay, as promised, we are now going to create the basic frames again, but using Dreamweaver. I'm sure it's your favorite program, not the other one, but it's nice to know how to do it both ways. Alright, so this one we have to first of all create a new site, get that through your head. That's how you start most of your major things in Dreamweaver. And we'll just call this one Frame Site Dreamweaver. And then you press next, and you press next. Then you go looking for where your site is, and make sure it matches to where you have it on your computer. So I'm going to have to snake my way down here, and we're going to go into here, and then I made something called Frame Site Dreamweaver, and I press select. Okay, so Frame Site Dreamweaver. Okay, and then you press this one. I'm not going to go into advanced, I don't have any images, and so I'm going to press next. It's on the set to none, and then I press done. And over here on the right hand side, there's no image folder or anything, but there it is. There's the folder that I'm pointing to, and that's where all my stuff's going to go. Now, got to press HTML. We've got to make our first page something, and this is where you're going to find this kind of neat and easy, way better than, I guess, first page. Up along the top section of Dreamweaver, and I'll stretch this out a little bit so you can see it better. There's a folder or a menu item called Layout. All right, so see how it's common, and then there's Layout, and right there, there's a picture of a frame. I'm going to press down, and we're going to pick the easiest one, just like we just did a few minutes ago. So it's just going to have like a left frame and then the right frame, and I'm going to press it. Okay, now it's going to ask you for the name of the middle part. I'm just going to call it main frame. Remember when we called it right in the other one? You can call it anything you want. And I'm going to press OK. There it is. Frame's made. So what do we got to do? Well, there are quite a few things you have to do. But, I mean, you can drag it like that, and that's how big you want it. You want to drag it some more? Go ahead. Now, to work with frames, you're going to have a little menu pop up over here on the right-hand side, and it's not there right now. So I'm going to press Frames, and now you can sort of see it down at the bottom here. Okay? And what it's going to allow you to do is work with the bits and pieces. Now, right now, it's got a black line around the whole thing, because the first thing I want to do is I want to press Save As and actually save this. Now, this is the frame set. This is like the master, right? So you press Save As, and it should put you in the folder that you put yourself in. And the master, it can be called master if you want, or I always call it index. And then I press save. Alright, so that's the first stage. Now you've got bits and pieces. See that right there? The computer is in that little section. That's going to be your menu. Well, you know what? You can save it. Save frame as. That's one of the frames, right? We're going to call it menu. So yeah, way easier, right? This one right here, the main part. I don't know, what do you want to call that? That's going to be one of your pages. And actually, you can type in it right now if you want. I'm going to say main page. And then you go to File, Save Frame As, and we'll call that one the main. Now, sir, the other one that you did, you had other pages. You're right. So how do you do that? Because you're stuck in here right now. Well, stay in here. Don't leave it, but go up to File, New, and make a couple new pages. All right, blank pages. Press Create. You haven't lost this. It's still right there. Okay, so you can always go back to it. But now you're on Untitled 2. And just call this, what do you want to call it? Page 1. Okay, and then we go to File, Save As, and this will be our page 1. All right, go up again to File, New, make another blank page. Call this one obviously page 2. Do a File, Save As, call this one page 2. Boy, this is going faster, right? Let's go back to main now. Now we've got a little bit of work to do. In here, like I told you, is going to be our main menu. So I'll type the words, and I'll have it, the choices be main, page 1, page 2. Alright, now, page 1, yeah, there's page 2, there's the menu, beautiful, we're doing great. So how are you going to go to those pages? Well, you highlight this like that. You go down to the bottom, where's that little point and shoot? There it is right there. And you drag it. Now this one's going to go to main, right? Done. Sort of done, not quite. Remember that target stuff? You have to pick or type in the word main frame. It's one of the choices that will show up when you press down, or you can type it in. It's up to you. Let's do page 2 now. Page 1. Right there. Make sure you press down target and you pick it. It's on the list. You'll see it near the bottom, main frame. So that one's done. Let's do page 2. Point and shoot to page 2. Boy, this is really easy, eh? Way faster. There's your main frame. Pretty happy about it all. I'm now doing all save alls. Okay, just don't do a regular save, do a save all. Let's do a quick little preview, see what we got going. It's not going to look perfect, but I mean it's going to be pretty good. Let's take a look. Alright, so pop this up. There it is. Hey, where's the lines? I don't know, we'll fix it in a second. We'll watch this. Page 1, beautiful, it shoots over to the right. Page 2 shoots over to the right. Main shoots over to the right. I like it. Okay, now, where is the lines? Well, to make the lines, what you first of all do is you click on this little thing on the right and you pick it. Now I'm going to move this up a little bit so you can see it better. Down at the bottom, there's a word, border width. Right now it's set to 0. Borders, no. I've got to set that to yes. Border color, I'll pick black. And things are starting to appear now. I don't know if you noticed it, but you see some sort of line there, which is a good start. Let me do a little preview. I'm not positive that it's totally there yet, but I saw some change, and we'll see. Yeah, there's a line. That's it. All right, there's the border. Now, some people that make really fancy sites, they want it to look like a frame site, but they hide the line. So sometimes people actually like the effect that there's no line there, but you know the right-hand side magically changes to a different page. All right, so that's up to you, and it'll depend on obviously the question that I give you on a test or an assignment. But that's basically it. Then it still works as before, and that's it. That's how you do frames in Dreamweaver. Now, what I'm going to do to finish up this video is show you a sample test. Sometimes we have it as an assignment, and show you how I would attack it and use a little bit of both. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this program for a second. Well, actually, we'll just drop it down because we'll keep reusing it. What I want to show you is the question I had before, and what will happen when you do an assignment like this. And I'm going to just close all of this off for a sec. What's going to happen is I'm going to give you a folder that has everything you need to do the assignment, quiz, whatever. And you guys know how I've done this before. You'll get a folder, and this is the one, for instance, that we're going to work on in a second, and it's going to have every single thing about the site. All the pictures and everything else. You'll have to make some animated GIFs and stuff like that. And if you forget what this example is about, here is the actual solution. And let me click on, what's the one that gets it going? Probably main or something, or master. Let's slide it down a little bit. There it is right there, master. This will kickstart it off, and if you forget what it was, this is a 2-frame test question or assignment, and we've got an image there, we've got an animated GIF, we've got a link there, and then we've got this thing here. Now you might forget what this is. This is actually an image too that I made into one of those things called an image map, so that when you go over different pieces of the picture, they click and then you go over. Okay, so there's a number of things going on here, and then obviously when you click it shoots over the pages. Now as a particular test, what you would get from me is, and you will in the next couple of days, you'll get a sheet of paper like this. Alright, and the sheet of paper will tell you roughly what you need to do. It'll tell you where all the pictures are, where you want to put them. It'll tell you everything about, like, if you want to put an H1 or a brown color on something, and then it'll tell you about the last piece right here called the upcoming events. Alright, so let's do a couple of hints just to get you started on how you would attack this question and how I would do it. Okay, now the first thing this question says is that you're going to need to go to the folder called Assignment 1, and I told you that already, we're in that folder, and you're going to put everything on that folder. Now, then you just basically start reading line by line all the steps it takes to create this website. And as you go through it, you sort of like check it off on the test, all right? So the first thing it mentions, and I'm not going to show you how to do this part because you should know how to do it, is you're going to make an animated GIF. All right, and I even tell you that all the pictures you need are in that folder, and they go from Sport 1 to Sport 8, and that's going to show up later on in yours right around there. That's where the animated GIF is going to show up. Okay, so that's one of the things you're going to have to do. Also, there's this first page you're going to work on in a second, and this is like your opening screen, and they mention in here that it's called main. All right, so that's what we're going to start off with. But then you basically can do things in any order you want, but make sure you check them off so you know, okay, I got that done and I got that done. So let's start working through the example and seeing things we can add to it. Okay, and we're going to mix and match. Maybe you're not going to like it. I'm going to do a little bit of Dreamweaver and a little bit of first page. So I'm going to open first of all, and it mentions something about in this folder here, and not the solution one, I'm not going to give you that. In here, there's a page called main. There it is. Oh, it's kind of bland. Now, the page mentions that there's some pictures that you can put in it, and it says there's a welcome in Manitoba, or actually a welcome GIF. So, let's see. It's supposed to go at the very top, I guess, right? Just above the word January. So right up there, I'm going to click on the common, press the tree, and there's assignment 1, and supposedly there's something called welcome. Okay, and then you press OK, and there it is. Alright, and always press save. Now I'm not going to do this whole assignment for you, but I'm going to show you how I would put together the bits and pieces. So that was welcome. There's another one called sports facts. Okay, so I go back, and right around here I click on the tree and I go to the pictures, and I'm looking for the one called sports facts. There it is, and I load it in. So you're putting together a page, and there it is. I'm going to save that right off the bat. And then you keep going. You go through everything that the sheet says. Alright, I'm going to slide down to the next page. There's another page called history, and again, I would do this in Dreamweaver. So you would load in the history page. So you go to File, Open. You would load in the history page is right there, and I've done a lot of the words for you, but like the last one, you have to read what it says. It says at the top there's a picture called History GIF. So you're slowly putting this together. So you go again to the tree, you look for History GIF, wherever it is, there it is right there, and the speed skater shows up, and you keep going. I think it mentions to change history to the second largest heading. So if you forgot how to do that, you highlight this. Where's that heading stuff? Well, let's see. Is it in text? Yep, and there is H2, and it becomes bigger. And if it says to change the color, you change the color. And obviously, as you're doing each thing, save. Now, I do notice here that it says there's a menu on the left-hand side, and it's actually an image called navbar GIF. Alright, and this is going to be an image map. So what that means is I've got to try to go into Dreamweaver and open up some file, but I don't see menu here. So I'm actually going to have to make that myself. So I go to New, not a big deal. You press Create, and I'm going to create the menu myself. Now it says that the menu has this thing called navbar. So let's see, I press Common, and navbar, where is that? There it is right there. Oh, that's cool. So what I've got to do is I've got to put that in my project. So there it is. Okay, let's save that right away so we don't lose it. Now remember, this doesn't exist. You're going to have to type it in yourself, menu. Alright, so that's now part of your project. Okay, now you're not going to like this, but I resorted to first page next, and I created my frame setup. And I'm going to save this, and you can call it master, you can call it whatever you want. In this particular one, I'm going to call it, remember you're saving it where all your stuff is, so it's in here. And do I see anything called index? No. So I think I'll call it index, and I'll preview it. Hey, almost done. Now, what happened there? Let's see. Okay, look here where it says main HTML. It's not called main HTML. Alright, let's do a little save, and I'll preview it, and there it is. The last tricky part involves the menu. You make an image map, and in this case I clicked on history. You click on history, you write the target, and then you're set.